एक साथ ही है।
Check. 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 One. Check. Check. Check.
check, sound check. Check, check, sound check. Check, check, hey.
Check. One. One. Check. One. Check. Check. One. 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 Hey. Check.
Hello?
Check. One.
Check. Good evening to all our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I kindly request all of you to kindly settle down. We are about to start in a few minutes. I request you all to please switch off your mobile phones. Kindly note the following safety announcement. There are two emergency exits, one on the left and other on the right side. We have two more exits at the back of the stage. I kindly request all of you to settle down. We will be starting in a few minutes. Thank you. I request all of you to please rise for the academic procession. May I request our dignitaries, our chief guest for today's evening, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, our chairman, sir, Mr. T.V. Narendran, director, Father S. George, Dean Academics, Dr. Sanjay Patro, and Dean Administration and Finance, Father Donald De Silva, to please come and light the lamp. I request Mr. Sanjay Saha to kindly hand over the candle for the same.
I declare the 67th annual convocation of XLRI open, and we will now have the prayer song.
Shining light to the nations, a shining light to the people of the earth, till the whole world sees the glory of your name. May your pure light shine through us. May we bring a word of hope to the nations, a word of life to the peoples of the earth, till the whole world knows there's salvation through your name. May your mercy flow through us. Healing balm to the nations, a healing balm to the peoples of the earth, till the whole world knows the power of your name. May your healing flow through us. May we sing a song of joy to the nations, a song of praise to the peoples of the earth, till the whole world rings with the praises of your name. May your song be sung through us. Be sung through us.
I request all of you to please be seated. We will now have Vishaka Singh to present a sapling to our chief guest and medal recipient, Mr. Harsh Mariwala. I request Ankit Ray to present a sapling to our chairman, Mr. T.V. Narendran.
I will now call upon Father George, the director, to introduce the chief guest and present his report.
Mr. T.V. Narendran, Chairman, XLRI Board of Governors and MD Tata Steel, India and South Asia, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, Chairman, Marigo, and the chief guest of the convocation and recipient of this year's Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace, Professor Sanjay Patro, Dean Academics, Father Donald De Silva, Dean Administration, Father Jaram Kutina, President of Jamshedpur Jesuit Society, Mrs. Ruchi Narendran, members of the board, senior executives of Tata Steel and various companies at Jamshedpur, faculty and staff, graduates of the class of 2023, parents and relatives of graduating class, present students, alumni, distinguished guests, members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you. I sincerely thank you for your presence here this evening. "75 years ago, in 1948, a small group of Jamshedpur Jesuits had a dream of starting XLRI to make a meaningful contribution to the independent India. XLRI will be celebrating its platinum jubilee of educating young minds beginning October 2023. We thank our chairman, Mr. T.V. Narendran, for all his services and constant support for XLRI to rise higher. We are extremely privileged to have as our chief guest the industrialist and businessman, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, chairman of Marigo, a Fortune India 500 company. Mr. Mariwala began his career in 1971 with Bombay Oil Industries. After working with his family business in Mumbai, he decided to create his own venture with the support of his brothers in the family business distribution in other subsidiary businesses. In 1990, he founded Marigo, an FMCG manufacturer and distributor that now has operations in 25 countries across Asia and Africa. He is also the founder of Kaya Limited, which runs a chain of skin care clinics across India and the Middle East. Ascent Foundation, a peer learning entrepreneurial platform, Marigo Innovation Foundation, that works towards nurturing innovations in India. MIF aims to uplift startups through mentoring and providing them an ecosystem of research, knowledge creation, and dissemination. MIF hosts the MIF Awards, an event where innovations across Indian business industry and social causes are picked up by a jury. Mr. Mariwala Health Initiative that supports mental health causes and short ventures, which serves as his family office. Thank you, Mr. Mariwala, for accepting our invitation to be with us this evening. We look forward to listening to you. This year, we lost one of our stalwarts of XLRI, Dr. J.J. Irani, who was our chairman of XLRI from 1993 to 2003. We also lost Mr. Bhushan Raina, former alumni president and board member. We pray that they rest in peace. Congratulations to our 484 students who are graduating today. Your brilliant accomplishment would not have been possible without the support and encouragement of your parents, family members, friends, and sponsors who sit proudly in our audience today. My heartfelt appreciation to the faculty and staff of XLRI for assisting you on your developmental journey and for making XLRI a place of excellence and integrity. 14 FPM students who are graduating today. Congratulations to BM, HRM, GMP batch as you graduate today. Congratulations to all the medal winners for your hard work and perseverance that has paid off. So, medal winners of GM. A glimpse of few students' achievements. They participated in the qualifier round of National HR Colosseum 6.0. The team comprising of Mudit Kuail, Gyan Akash, Shashwat Mishra was among the top 15 teams invited for a National HR Colosseum and in the national finals. And they were adjudged as winners of the National HR Colosseum 6.0. Tania Gupta, Ainab Zaidi, Haridas Koyalia, they are winners of the national final HR triathlon conducted during the 11th National HR Conference 2023. Winners of the national final of the Battle of H Royal conducted during the 11th National HR Conference 2022. These are the highlights of the year 2022-23. Received NBA re-accreditation for 6 years till 2028. Received AAU equivalents for our FPM and EFPM programs for 2 years. And we recruited many faculty members and placement was very impressive. A new record was created and 10 MOUs were signed. Center for Learning and Teaching Innovation was created. Congratulations for winning the long service medals for 15 years of dedicated service to XLRI, 7 faculty members and 10 staff members. XLRI thanks them for their commitment. Our alumni have always done us extremely proud. We have a very vast network of alumni members who are devoted to XLRI and have always worked towards the betterment of their alma mater. I am highlighting a few of their achievements in the last academic year. Mr. B.P. Pidapa, appointed as the Chief HR Officer, Global Home Care, Unilever. Amita Mageshwari, HR Leader of the Year, award at the ET Prime Women Leadership Awards 2021. Nadim Ahmed, member of the Global Leadership Challenge. Bhargavi Kakurni, HR Lead India of US Pharmaceutical Company. Gerald Tellix, top 600 best scientists in research.com list. Dr. Ashish Chan, appointed as the President and CEO of Belden Incorporation. Fortune India's most powerful women 2022, Mrs. Leena Nair, Mrs. Rekha Mann. Convocation brochure 2023 is available for you. Our thanks to all students and student committees. Our thanks to all faculty committees. Our thanks to all staff and staff committees. I place on record my gratefulness to the chairman, Mr. Narendran, and members of the governing board for their valuable guidance. Dr. Sanjay Patru, the Dean Academics, Secretary of the Board, Father Donald De Silva, the Dean Administration and Finance, Treasurer of the Board, and Associate Deans, all the chairpersons of various activities like admission, placement, MVP, alumni, international relations, public relations and centers, area chairpersons, faculty, staff, maintenance staff, students for all their support and unstinted support. I want to specially mention the contribution made by our students under the leadership of Nivedika Narendran, General Secretary, Nikhil Nair, Principal Secretary Placement, Arghya Chatterjee, Principal Secretary, Academic Affairs and Treasurer, Roshni Munshi, Principal Secretary, Internal Affairs, and Rohit Goyal, Principal Secretary, External Affairs. If XLRI had successful year in 2022-23, it is a result of our teamwork and our determination to take the institute forward and make it globally competitive and a force to reckon with in the years to come. May God bless us all. I now request Mr. T.V. Narendran, Chairman of XLRI, to address the graduating students.
Our chief guest for the evening, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, the chairman of Marico Group and entrepreneur with a wonderful story. I've had the privilege of hearing him before and I'm really looking forward to his speech today. Father George, Father Donald, Professor Sanjay Patro, Father Jerry, all other fellow members of the board, students who are passing out, graduating students and proud parents, faculty, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, congratulations to all the students who are here. It's a big day for all of you, and my congratulations to all of you, and really looking forward to you doing XLRI proud. It's customary for me as a chairman to say a few words, and so I'm going to subject you to a bit of advice for whatever it's worth. I have 4 points to make, and I'll keep it short. First and foremost, and I think I've said it every time I've spoken here, one phase of your education ends here. This is not the end of your education. I think a different kind of education begins once you start working. I would say it's an even tougher education than what you've gone through so far. You don't have the comfort of books and full-time teachers and faculty to help you. The education is going to come from the experiences that you have, the learnings that you get from the reflections that you have, and of course how you respond to the different challenges that you face. So it's going to be quite a roller coaster ride, I can promise you. And I think those of you who are able to adapt to that roller coaster ride, take the most out of it, are certainly going to do well in whatever profession you choose to do, whatever purpose you set yourself to do. So I think the biggest point is keep learning all your life, keep adapting all your life. I think change is a constant. All of us have gone through it, and we will continue to go through it. And your ability to learn and adapt is what is going to differentiate you more than anybody else. The second point I want to make is in a highly interconnected world, I think it's important to be geopolitically very aware of what's happening. You know, unfortunately in India, the media is focused more on what's happening in India. But I think one learning even over the last few years is that whatever happens anywhere in the world has a direct or indirect impact on us. Not very long back, we thought COVID was a problem in China. We thought the Ukraine and Russia war was a problem for Europe. But I think all of us in the professional world have seen how it has impacted us directly and indirectly. And so I think it's very, very important to be geopolitically aware of what's happening. Keep reading about what's happening, listening to what's happening, come to your own conclusions about it and plan your own future based on it. A small example, when I passed out of college in 1988, I don't think China was anywhere on the radar. I didn't think that China would play such an important role in my professional life directly or indirectly, right? Because nobody even talked about China in 1988. So I think, and look at what has happened in the last 30 years. So while the next 30 years is probably going to be dominated by an India story, and because we all live in India, we know the India story, but I think the other continent to watch out for is Africa. I think Africa is going to add another 3 billion people to the population of the world in the next, during the century. So out of the 4 billion people who are going to get added to the population of the world in this century, 3 billion are going to get added in Africa. And it's a very young continent, demographically much younger than India. It's not a homogeneous place. There are multiple influences there, multiple cultures there. I don't claim to have a deep understanding of Africa, but I know that it's going to be far more important for all of you than it has been for me. And I think that's something I want to leave with you to think about. The third point I want to make is about climate change and environmental issues. I think this is again going to play a very, very dominant role in your careers, directly or indirectly. If the last 30 years was shaped by China and the internet, I think the next 30 years is going to get shaped by what's happening on climate transition. It's going to throw up a lot of challenges, disrupt a lot of industries. It's going to really shift a lot of the economic power, a lot of regulatory environment is going to change. In India, the regulatory environment is still evolving. It has already evolved in places like Europe. The recently announced Inflation Reduction Act in the US is the US response to it. So I think a lot is going to happen in this space. And just like you had the internet economy, you'll have the climate economy, creating new champions, new industries. And I think that's a subject which all of you should certainly understand more and more about. In fact, today when we were discussing offline, one of the directors had even a suggestion that it should be a stream to support regular functions like HR and finance and things like that, because more and more organizations are going to look at students who understand the subject better and deeper. And the last point I want to make is a little bit tangential to what we tend to focus on, and that's the growing inequality in the world. I think that's not something we can ignore. We may not be directly impacted by it. We are all privileged to pass out of premier schools like this. But I think this is something which is manifesting itself in the socio-economic space, in the political space. The polarization that you see across the world is also linked to this. The pushback on globalization, which was taken as granted over the last 30 years, is also linked to this. And I think going forward, a lot of, whether it's the tax environment, the regulatory environment, the social license to operate that many of us take for granted, I think all this is going to get impacted by rising inequality. And I think it's not something that you can just leave to governments to deal with. I think corporates need to play a very big role. I think all of you as young students can play a role. After all, XLRI as an institute has been set up for the greater good, and no better way to contribute in some sense to society than contribute in whatever way we can to address this subject, which is not easily addressed. So thank you once again, and congratulations to all of you, and wish you a wonderful future. Thank you. I now request Professor Smithu Malhotra to read the citation for the Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace.
Good evening. XLRI, Xavier School of Management, Jamshedpur, is pleased to present Mr. Harsh C. Mariwala, the Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace. Citation: a visionary industrialist, a versatile business executive, and an ardent philanthropist with a deep commitment to the society we live in, Mr. Harsh Mariwala is the quintessence of the award's ideals of being a resolute promoter of industrial and social peace. As the chairman of Marico Limited, he has led the metamorphosis of a business rooted in traditional commodities to a thriving enterprise occupying a key position in the beauty and wellness sector. His inspiring leadership has made Marico a behemoth and a global brand in over 25 countries. His humility, coupled with his dogged determination, has always been one of the driving forces behind the success he has had, which has been widely recognized in both Marico and Kaya, having been bestowed with over 280 awards in the past years. A champion for entrepreneurship in India, he started Ascent, a peer learning entrepreneurial platform that has inspired and helped many an entrepreneur since its launch in 2002. His contribution in emphasizing innovation in business school curriculum is exemplary. His passion to promote innovation for social impact has been manifest in the Marico Innovation Foundation, MIF's determined promotion of ventures engaged in the fight against COVID-19 crisis. The founding of Mariwala Health Initiative, MHI, in 2015 that focuses on making mental health accessible to the marginalized is an affirmation of his personal belief in giving back to the society. He has been bestowed with the Lifetime Achievement Award 2021 by the All India Management Association, AIMA, and EY Entrepreneur of the Year 2020 Award by Ernst & Young in recognition of his achievements. His co-authored book on Harsh Realities, Making of Marico, is a treatise on professionalizing and managing growth trajectories of family businesses. In deep appreciation of his enduring dedication to the high standards of business leadership and of his tenacious efforts to make our society a better place, XLRI is honored to present the Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace to Mr. Harsh C. Mariwala. Given in Jamshedpur at the 67th Convocation, this 4th day of April 2023, the 74th year of the founding of XLRI. Signed, Sebastian George S.J., Director, T.V. Narendran, Chairman, Board of Governors.
I now request our chairman, Mr. T.V. Narendran, to hand over the Sir Jahangir Gandhi Medal for Industrial and Social Peace to Mr. Harsh Mariwala. As a token of appreciation, we request our chairman to hand over mementos to Mr. Harsh Mariwala.
I will now call upon Mr. Harsh Mariwala to give his convocation.
Good evening to all of you. Good evening. So, Mr. Narendran, Chairman XLRI, Father George, Father De Silva, Professor Patro, and other board members. First of all, let me start by congratulating the students for passing out from this. Congratulations. I am very happy to be here. This is my second visit. I don't even remember when I came first. It was more than 15 years back, but I still remember I came here. And when I got an invite to come here again, not only convocation, but the award, I was feeling, I must say, I was feeling a little reluctant to come because of sheer distances. But my head of HR, my first recruit in Marico was my head of HR. His name is Jaswant Nair, and he is XLRI graduate. He phoned me up and he said that you have to go for the sake of my sake, for the sake of Marico, and Marico also comes to campus for recruitment. So then I asked my head of HR, current head of HR, and he said, you have to go. But I was still reluctant. And finally, you know, looking at all the arrangements which Mr. Narendra has made, I think it is so seamless, my travel from Calcutta to here and staying here and again from here to Ranchi and back. So thank you very much for making all the arrangements. And I'm so happy that I could come here. I'll talk a little bit later about Jaswant and the role HR can play in business. I think it's totally underestimated by Indian businessmen, by all businesses, I would say. HR can play a very vital role in actually making the business much, much stronger. But I'll talk about that later. I think what I want to talk about is my own journey. Unlike all of you, I'm just a commerce graduate. I have just done my BCom from Bombay University. And that's it. I have not studied anything further. I wanted to do MBA like many of you or most of you who've done it. I was not that bright to get into a management school. Those days, options were limited. I think that time there was Bajaj, there was IIM Bangalore and IIM Calcutta. So I applied. I went for group discussion, but I was not that bright to get through the admission process. So I told my father, can I go abroad? Because there's nothing else. I can't make the cut here. But my father said no. Those days, I'm talking of long, long time back, 71. He was scared, maybe I'll never come back. He was scared, maybe I'll marry somebody there. I don't know what. But those days, we were very, very obedient as children, you know, compared to today's kids. If I tell my kids or today's kids, they will just say, no, we are going. Forget about what you are saying. But those days, we were far more obedient. And my father said, why don't you join the family business? At that time, it was a small company, Bombay Oil Industries. It was located in the heart of commodity markets. And I don't know how many of you been to Masjid Bandar. I don't know how many of you are from Bombay, but if you are from Bombay, please go and visit that area. It's the most crowded area in this world, I would say. It's full of trucks. It's in the middle of godowns, hand carts, dirty. And our office was located in that crowded locality. So there were no professionals. My father and three of his brothers managing the business. All the decisions came to the family. And I was just left loose by my father. Please, explore whatever you want to do. So at that time, we had three different businesses. We had an edible oil business, we had a chemicals business, and we had a spice extracts business. And for 1 year, I just explored, went to the factories, went to customers. And out of that exploration, I realized that the edible oil business we were doing was unbranded. We were selling it was a B2B business. We were selling it to the trade also, but in big tins. So we had these brands, Parachute, Saffola, but selling in big tins, which again were retailed in loose to the consumer. And in that exploration, there were some other players who were doing well. They had converted the market to branded. At that time, branded was much, much smaller than what it is today, but there was branded edible oil, branded coconut oil. And I said, if I can convert that unbranded to branded, I think I will create a business which is far more sustainable, which is far more profitable than a commodity kind of business, which was operating on a very low gross margin. So out of sheer initiative, I just took a car and I started traveling to interior parts of Maharashtra. I went on appointing distributors on my own, recruited 1 or 2 salespeople. But those days, there were no hotels in small towns. I have stayed many times at distributor houses. And the key thing what I wanted to say was the bottom-up growth provided me with a lot of learnings. The fact that I had to appoint distributors, I had to go to the retailer, sell the products was a huge, huge learning for me. And as the business expanded, I said that we need to advertise, create the brands. So I didn't know anything about advertising, and we appointed ad agency. And first thing was, I want to spend 1 week with you just to learn how advertising is created. So I think it's very important to learn. And I think a lot of my lack of education, MBA, I've made it up through my sheer experiences in actually doing things. I did a lot of training programs, short-term training programs. I went to IIM, Ahmedabad. That time there was Administrative Staff College in Hyderabad. I had many programs there. And I learned a lot, and I started reading voraciously. In the initial stages, I was reading books on functional management, how to market, how to HR and things like that. But over a period of time, it went on shifting. But I think today, if you ask me, that lack of education has not impacted me at all, because I was very clear at that time that if I had to succeed in business, I had to recruit very good talent. And good talent would come in by recruiting good MBA students, good engineers. And if I had to work with them, I should be on top of that subject. So I studied everything in the area of marketing and all the other functional areas so that I could deal with these highly educated postgraduates. And I think that's all I'm trying to say is that lack of education does not deter learning. With the education, learning is much more. And for those graduates which are passing out, I would say that learning is lifelong. Don't think that you arrived just because you passed out. I think this is, as Mr. Narendran, this is just the beginning. And you have to learn, and the kind of things you learn by interacting with people down the line will be much, much more than the management education which has been provided. So all I'm saying is, if you have to learn from others, if you have to learn from people down the line, have humility, have the courage to ask them, well, how can I do this? How can I improve? And we recruit about 15, 20 management graduates. The first thing I tell them is drop your guard. Don't think you are a management trainee. Think you are a human being there to learn. And first job for you is to get yourself accepted to whoever you're interacting with. Because if you are high-handed, and if you're coming from a certain pedestal, people will not open up to you. But if you actually approach the people you are interacting with, you will learn much, much more. So that's how the business grew. And in coconut oil, we got about 15% market share. And at some stage, we started feeling that we are stagnating because distribution could take us up to a certain point and not beyond that. So at that time, the whole market for coconut oil was in tins. And we said that can we actually convert that market from tin to plastics? Because plastics is cheaper than tins. It's relatively more attractive. And it's more convenient to use. So we thought we had a winner on hands. We went to the trade. Normally, in any consumer product or any product, you need to do consumer insighting before you actually launch anything. So we went to the consumer. They were open to buying coconut oil plastics. Went to the trade. There was a huge resistance, saying that 10 years prior to you, somebody else had launched coconut oil plastics, and it was disaster because the bottle was a square-shaped bottle. And there was a lot of oil on the outer surface of the bottle. When the retailer closed the shop and opened next morning, all the rats had bitten away the bottle, and not only the product was destroyed, but even the shop got spoiled. So we had a big problem on hand. We said, how do we tackle this? And as entrepreneurs and those who are thinking of starting their own business, you never give up. You have to find out alternative ways to resolve issues. So we said that let's go back to the packaging vendor. We said that can we design a bottle where the right rat will find it difficult to get a grip. So we designed a round shaped bottle. Then we went to our packaging department saying that can you just ensure that not a single drop of oil is on the outer surface of the bottle. So that happened. But that's not enough. We had to test it. Then we tested that by putting some of the bottles in a rat cage for a day. Nothing happened. We took pictures. And then we were so confident that we gave assurance to the trade that if something happens, your shop gets damaged, we will compensate. We gave pictures of that to our field force. And that's how the journey of converting the market from tin to plastics began. Our market share over a period of 5 years jumped up from 15% to 50% in a very big category. So, and we had multiple innovations in that. There were a lot of copycats. We had decided to invest in some mold which were difficult to copy. Then we coconut oil freezes in winter, so we went with a wide mouth plastic bottle. But I think my belief in innovation just went up dramatically. And that belief still continues because it's a highly competitive business environment. If you have to succeed in business, you have to be either pioneer in something you're doing or you have to be innovative. Because it's a matter of time, others will copy you. So that process of innovation has to be on a perpetual basis. It cannot just be one innovation and stop. It's a very big category and people surprised to know that we sell something like 7 crore bottles of Parachute every month. So it's a very, very big category, and this happened because of relatively simple innovation. Of course, plastics is dirty word today, but we have just finished a study in terms of how do you recycle plastics, how do you reuse plastics, how do you replace plastics, but that's a different story. I'm not going to talk about it, but what I'm trying to say is innovation, my belief in innovation just went up. Over a period of time, the business was taken over in Marico. So Marico began operations in the year 1990, and then I recruited Jaswant. We were in heart of commodity markets, family managed. By then, 4 of my cousins had joined business, so there were like 8 or 9 similar family members in the company. Impossible to attract talent because they would get scared, and it's natural because 8 family members, whom will I report to? Will there be dual reporting? The office in Masjid Bandar was a huge negative. And many times I would call people for interview. Half the time people would just run away before entering the office, looking at the approach. So again, how do you resolve that? So we said that, can we shift focus? So initially I started at senior levels calling people to a Wellington Sports Club, which is a good club in Bombay. Met them once, twice, and then mentally prepare them and call them to the office. So when one of the key tasks for me and the reason why we formed Marico was to attract good talent and be focused on consumer products. And my first recruit was Jaswant Nair because no amount of me saying that this is going to be a professionally managed companies would have cut ice. Compared to me, he had a much better credential. He had worked in companies like Asian Paints and others. And he had very good networks in the job market. So he was able to recruit within a very short period of time, something like 30, 40 senior managers. And I must say that he played a very important role in getting the initial team together. From that time onwards, we've been hiring or recruiting management trainees, not only just business management trainees, but graduate engineers as well as chartered accountants. So the first job for us was how do you spread awareness of Marico? And we didn't have too much budget, new company. So the brief given to the ad agency was, I have money only for 2 or 3 insertions. And that has to make an impact in the job market. So I must say that the ad agency came with a brilliant campaign. They came out with a campaign which had a lot of shock value. So the first ads were mask killer nabbed. It was leveraging on the brand Saffola. Or 200 employees walk out of Bombay. And I think that had a big impact in the job market. People, I think their eyes opened out because something unique was being told about. No, thank you. It's okay. So I think that had its own impact. And I realized that when you have less resources and high aspirations, and that challenge is much big, that's when you start thinking innovatively. So my belief in innovation went on increasing, and the first task after recruiting all these people was how do you create a culture of innovation in Marico? So we said that we have to be a very flat organization structure because flat organization structure would mean more empowerment. We have to recruit very diverse talent. And we have to create high degree of openness and trust. Innovation just doesn't happen in R&D labs. It happens in all our minds. If somebody has an idea, then they can discuss with others. And that's how innovation goes forward. On top of that, it's very important that you remove the fear of failure. I think the fear of failure is the biggest hindrance to innovation. If people are afraid of failing, and I realized that many management trainees we took, they were afraid of failing. At the beginning of their career, they didn't want to take a risk. Because if some risk didn't do well, and if there's a failure on the biodata, then that fear over there, how will it impact my future? So if, as management, if you don't punish fear of failure, then you have to give an assurance to the people that don't be afraid of fail. Go on experimenting, go on prototyping, do it on a small scale, just to test the hypothesis. So I think that's how we created a culture, and I'm very briefly summarizing what we did. So, but basically, creating a culture for innovation is very, very crucial for any organization in a highly competitive business environment. That's what will keep you ahead of others. In my own journey, if I look at our portfolio of products, we have portfolio products starting with parachutes of and most of the products we are in, we said that can we have a portfolio of products where we can become market leaders. So our choice of portfolio products is very, very crucial because market leadership means that you have economies of scale and your financial returns are much higher if you are a market leader. So if I look at my portfolio products, about 95% of our total turnover comes from brands where we are market leaders. And I think that's helped the organization quite a lot. Over a period of time, we said that we have to go outside India because the whole world is getting globalized. And it is just not growth opportunities outside India, it's much more than that. I think the fact that you have business outside India exposes your own talent to other outside markets. It it's a great opportunity to test talent in profit center roles. So today we have big operations in Bangladesh, Vietnam, Middle East. And whatever innovations we did in India, I'm talking of in plastics, we rolled it out to Bangladesh in a much shorter period of time. We were new to Bangladesh, and within 4 years, we became market leaders in Bangladesh market. It's a very big market. I think we are one of the largest companies in Bangladesh market. And I think those innovations were able to leverage in that market. So over a period of time, I think business has grown. My role also has shifted. When you're small, you're doing things. In the initial stages, I was doing things on my own. And as you grow, you start recruiting talent. Your role shifts from doing things to getting things done. Then the whole challenge is very different. You need to attract good talent, team building, process, and things like that. And when you go still much bigger, then actually your role is to influence others by talking, by writing, and things like that. So I think over a period of time, the role shifts as the business grows, and that's what has happened to me. If I had to now, I think over a period of time, the business has done well. When we took over the business from Marico, from Bombay, we were 80 crore turnover, and this year we'll be close to 10,000 crores turnover. So it's worked out well. We went public, and I think capital markets also rewarded quite well. So net, I think we made big shifts from initially it was like branded commodity players. Now we are a full-fledged FMCG company. From India, we went to international markets. From low margin, we went to high margin. And from family managed, now it's become a completely professionally managed company where I am the chairman of the company, but I don't have an operational role. So it's a completely professionally managed company. There is not a single family member in the company. It's totally professionally managed. I spend about 20-25% of my time on the company. I know what's happening. It's like my mind is on 24/7, my hands are off. So that's how the company has transited over a period of time. I was just trying to identify what could be relevant for the students. And I am a strong believer in strengths-based approach. I think each of us has got God-given gifts. Many of us don't know what are our gifts. So I think the first thing I tell youngsters is to please try and identify your gifts. Many of us are blind to what we are good at. And the simplest way to do that would be to actually gather people whom you know, your family, your friends, and just get from them in a group, what are my strengths? Unfortunately, most of us look more at our weakness and try to improve our weakness. And I strongly feel that 75% of your effort should be based on improving your strengths, and 25% in the area of nullifying the weakness. Unless you have a fatal flaw, of course, you need to improve on that. But if you do that, I think you will become much more stronger. And whether it's your own career or your own business you want to start, it should be based on your strengths. Just because IT is the flavor of the decade doesn't mean that you start an IT business if you're not good at it. So I think my approach has been inside out in terms of your own career or the business you want to start. So it should be leveraged based on what good you are at, because if you're good at something, you're passionate about it, and you will go on improving in that particular part. Over a period of time, I'm sure all of you will succeed. I have realized that success is more difficult to handle than failures, because success leads to ego. Ego leads to I know it all. You stop learning. It leads to overconfidence. It may lead to recklessness. As again, that failures leads to introspection. It leads to learning. It leads to improvements. So you will have a mixed bag. Every person in this world is going to have successes and failures. And look at taking risks. They say sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. I say sometimes you win, but you always learn and not lose. So any failure is a great learning opportunity. And don't have that fear of failure, as I mentioned earlier. But failure has to combine with what's known as grit. They say passion is important, but passion by itself is not important. Passion has to be combined with perseverance and determination. Because if you are determined and perseverance, then you will overcome that failure and succeed at a later stage. The other point I wanted to talk about was focus. I am a big believer in focus. Do a few things, but do them well. If you look at leading sports people, actors, I think they have sacrificed a lot in trying to improve in whatever they are doing. So if you want to be a really good sportsman or whatever else, you will have to be focused. It's like you don't want to be jack of all trades, you want to be master. Jack of all trades and not master of none. You have to be master of what you're doing. And that may mean making some choices in trying to be focused. I think over a period of time, you will realize that your motivators will go on shifting depending on your age, depending on what you've achieved in life. Initial stages, the motivators are monetary motivators. Then recognition comes in, I want to be recognized, I want to be rewarded. And then respect comes in. But at some stage, go on asking what next, what next. I think that's the time when the purpose comes in, you know. Each of us has come empty-handed in this world. Each of us is going to go empty-handed, going back. And I like this one, somebody like by the name of Richard Leader. He asked the audience like this, what are the two most important days in your life? And many of them, they said the day I was born, which is true. The second most important day, there were differing answers. Somebody said when I passed out of graduated, when I got my first job, when I became a father, when I got married. But he said, no, that's not the right answer. The second most important day in your life is the day you realize why you were born. So we are born with a certain purpose. And I think each of us can identify that purpose of why am I born? It could be anything. It could be impacting others. It could be being the best father. It could be anything. So I think the key thing is at some stage in life, you have to identify a purpose and work towards it. And that will then you'll stop searching for other recognitions, monetary thing, because you are actually, that will give you far more satisfaction than other things you've achieved earlier in life. When I was young, I didn't realize what my parents had sacrificed to make what I am today. Or when I succeeded, until I became a parent, and that time I realized that the kind of effort which parents put in bringing up their children, in nurturing them, in guiding them, and for those who are not coming from financially well background, then supporting them financially. And I think it's very important that each of the student who's passing out realize what your parents have done for you. So maybe at the end of today's, if the parents are here, please go and thank them from the bottom of your hearts in making you what you are today. So that's my address to all of you. And let me just end by reciting a poem on risk. To laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out to another is to risk involvement. To place your ideas, your dreams before the crowd is to risk loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try at all is to risk failure. But to risk we must, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The man, the woman who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening address. I now call upon Dr. Sanjay Patro, Dean Academics, to present the winners of Academic Excellence. I request Mr. Harsh Mariwala to give away the medals.
Academic medals 2022-23, XLRI medal for the best all-round student in memory of Parinit Reddy is awarded to Delphi Tayal. XLRI medal for the best all-round women student in memory of Geeta Saxena is awarded to Tanya Gupta. XLRI medal for outstanding student in the Fellow in Management program in memory of KVK Raju is awarded to Varun Sarma. XLRI medal for highest CQPI in the Human Resource Management program in memory of John P. D. Costa is awarded to Tanya Gupta. XLRI medal for second highest CQPI in the Human Resource Management program is awarded to Mudit Goel. XLRI medal for highest CQPI in the Business Management program in memory of Ram Avatar Chachra is awarded to Kunal Gupta. XLRI medal for second highest CQPI in the Business Management program sponsored by Janardhan Paida is awarded to Aditya Khetrapal. XLRI medal for highest CQPI in the General Management program in memory of R.S. Pandey is awarded to Vinit Maheswari. XLRI medal for social initiatives sponsored by State Bank of India is awarded to Sarbani Datta, Subhasis Das, Sivangi Kejriwal, Suhas P, MN Sai Asareddy, B. Satvik.
Thank you. I now call upon Father Donald De Silva, Dean, Administration and Finance, to announce the names of those receiving their medals for long service and request our chairman, Mr. T.V. Narendran, to kindly give away the medals.
Before I call upon the names of the recipients of the Long Service Medal, on behalf of the Chairman, T.V. Narendran, Board of Governors, faculty, staff, and entire XL family, I would like to congratulate the awardees for being part of XLRI. Your hard work is on display every day, and we truly appreciate your dedicated service. Your 15 long years of service to XLRI are a true testimony of your loyalty and commitment to the organization, and you are truly valued for your contributions on this day. The following are the recipients of the Long Service Medal: Professor Arundhati Sarkar Bose, Professor M.G. Jomon, Professor Manoj Thomas, Professor Prantik Ray, Professor Sanjeev Vasne, Professor Santanu Sarkar, Professor Sumit Sarkar, Miss Adeline Oreya, Mr. Bikas Chandra Chaudhary, Miss Manisha Beck, Miss Nirupama Haripal, Miss Priya Minj, Mr. Susanta Mandal, Mr. Bappi Kumar Nath, Mr. James Vincent Malwa, Mr. Tarun Mahato, Mr. Vishnu, thank you, and once again, congratulations to each one of you. Wishing you all the best of luck for the upcoming years of service. May God bless us all.
I now call upon Dr. Sanjay Patro to administer the pledge to the graduating students.
I request all faculty members to please rise. On the recommendation of the faculty, the governing body is pleased to confer the Fellow in Management on 14 students, the 2-year postgraduate diploma in Human Resource Management on 176 students, the 2-year postgraduate diploma in Business Management on 180 students, the 15 months postgraduate diploma in General Management on 114 students. Faculty members, please sit down. Graduating students, please rise for the pledge and repeat after me as I read it. We, the graduating students of XLRI, hereby pledge that empowered with knowledge, the quest for which shall never end, we aspire to be responsible business leaders with integrity and honesty. We endorse the principles of responsible and ethical management and endeavor to work towards shaping an inclusive and sustainable global economy. We will refrain from corruption, unfair competition, or business practices harmful to society. As socially responsible citizens, we commit ourselves to bringing about equity and fairness to our organizations and to the society at large. We pledge to uphold the values of XLRI and shall always strive to apply our knowledge for the betterment of our society and bring glory to our institute. Graduating students, please take your seat.
I request the Dean Academics to present the fellow students and the graduates with their diplomas.
Now I present the recipients who have been approved to be conferred the title Fellow in Management. Harini K.N. Varun Sarma. Debasri Roy. Kadambari Kriti Randev. Sayani Sengupta. Sanjeev Kumar Prasad. Pankaj Noyan Chobe. Subrat Kumar Nandi. Soroj Kumar Singh. Anjali Desai. Now I present the students who have qualified for the award of the 2-year postgraduate diploma in Human Resource Management and Business Management. Dear graduating students of HRM and BM program, Section A, please assemble in both the aisles, HRM to my right and BM to my left, and come onto the stage to receive the diploma when your name is announced. I will be announcing the names of the first 5 rank holders in the order of merit. Rank 1, HRM Tanya Gupta. BM Kunal Gupta. Second rank, HRM Mudit Goel. BM Aditya Khetrapal. Third rank, RS Ratanlal Mehta. BM third rank, Siddharth. rank Haridas Koladia. BMCV Kaya. Fifth rank Muskan Arora. Kusakra Goel. Now the other names of HRM and BM section A will be announced in the alphabetical order. May I request the audience not to applaud the graduates individually, but to do so after the entire graduating batch of 2023 receives the diploma. Thank you. HRM, so HRM from right and BM would come from the left. HRM Arusi Sarma, Aparna Menon. Adit Kumar, A. Sriram. Ainab Jaidi, Asta Baveja. Alankrit Sarma, Abhankar Joshi. Amiya Chopare, Avinav Mohanty. Ami Sharma, Aditi Kashyap. Ananya Kundra, Aditya Das. Apur Vasisht, Aditya Marwa, Arvind M, Aman Safaria, Ashray Sharma, Anchit Goel. Avani Gupta, Ansul Raida, Deep Jot Ahluwalia, Antara Agarwal. Dilip Misra, Aparajita Rai. Isma Goel, Aravindan R. Fareen Niaz, who is not there? Aryan Jain. Gyan Akarsh. Avani Raghuvanshi. Hari Chandana Tonputi. Bharat Garg. Himani Vardhani. Deepak Sarma. Himanshu Shekhar Misra. Delphi Dayal. Julie Madhav Nayak. Gairik Saha. Kamal Kaushik. Gopal Sethi. Krishna Pavan Lakshmi Sravya Rangavachula. Himanshu Rana. Kunal Mittal. Jigyasa Dayal. MN Sai Asa Reddy. Jisnu Purkayastha. Meghna Sasi Kumar. Gramdhati Srikar Bharadwaj. Mugdha Sethi. Kritika Jalan. Nilesh Chandola. Push Convert. Niharika Pradhan. MS Ubnish Lahari. Nikhil Chaudhary. Manandhar. Param Naresh Kumar Mehta. Mansi Ram Khayani. Pratiksha Srivastav. Mohit Munjal. Pinaki. Param Naresh Kumar Mehta. Param Mehta. Pritam Sarkar, Nikhil Gupta. Rajashri Chaudhary, Nikhil Vasist. Rangoli Kumari, Nikita Loknath Mujuria. Richa Marie Angel Rivelo, Nivek AV. Rohit Goel. Parth Jadhav. Sakshi Bhatti. Pranav Singla. Sana Tarun Mehra. Priyanka Agrawal. Sandeep Misra. Rahul Agarwal. Sanya Batra. Rahul Dutt Mola. Satvik Ponatota. Ritik Garg. Sasank Lele. Rugbeg Wak Chowdhury. Saswat Misra. Sai Sandeep Elendula. Sefali Gupta. Sarang Chaudhary. Sivans Gupta. Sarbani Datta. Sivika Maheshwari. Siddharth Chauhan. Saing Dipto Chakrabarti. Smriti Rajpal. Sovit Vijayvargiya. Sudeep Patro. Shruti Umanath Malankar. Sukanya Naik. Subham Agarwal. Tanay Dubey. Siddharth Vasishtha. Tanvi Patodia. Subhasis Das. Unnati Tikmani. Suyas Khare. Vishnupriya Bundadam, Swati Kamath. Yas Vasin, Utkarshmani Tripathi. Varun Sanghvi. Graduating students of HRM and BM Section B, please assemble in both the aisles, HRM to my right and BM to my left, and come onto the stage to receive the diploma when your name is announced. Abarna Kalyani, Asi Maru. Aditya Patel, Abhishek Kumar. Aishwarya Mittal, Aditi Batra. Akshat Maheshwari, Aditya Hadikar. Aman Garg, Amisha Verma. Ananya Singhal, Omok Sinha. Anjali S. Ankesh Goel. Ankit Raj, Anurag Mehta. Anubhuti Srivastava, Anusa Pandey. Arghya Chatterjee. Arihan Chaturvedi. Aryan Tomar, Asi Gupta. Asita Agarwal, Aswin Harsa. Avantika Sarma, Please Sinha. Ayush Agarwal, Devaraj. Deepsika, Debrat Rath. Dipanshu De, Disha Kothari. Jibani Patre, Eric Binu Robert. Gayatri Kapoor, Gandharv Kabir, Harika Cherukupalli, Garima, Iman Kalyan Ghosh, Harsh Radheshyam Dalia, Isani Gambhir, Jay Tanai, Karam Ibadat Singh Gyani, Joshi Ritvik Prasad, Lakshi Goel, Kanishk Khatri, Meghna Aurora, Kusali Saraf, Mohammad Fahd, Sitish Verma, Mukshada Mundada, Lavanya Gupta, Nail Tabi Samja, Manthan Chala, Neeraj Bhagwat, Mihika Sen Sarma, Nivedika Narendran, Nalin Nehra, Purva Singhal, Nikhil Mangal, Pranit House of Gaikard, Nikhil Vasist, Preeti Singh, Oishak Bandyopadhyay, Rahul Sharma, Ojoswini Gupta, Ram Narendra Sharma, Panya Rawat, Rasi Verma, Pooja Watani, Rishita Kaur Gandhi, Pranab Doshi, Sarthak Pal, Pranjal Gupta, Sakshi Singh, Rahul Chaudhary, Sandra Prasad, Rishabh Bajpayee, Sanjay Sajan, Rosni Munshi, Sharayar, Sarthak Gupta, Saswat Aditya, Saransh Katay, Shatrughan Ocha, Sejal Agarwal, Sayoni, Saswat Shukla, Sheshna Sekhi, Somik Das, Shruti Batra, Srijita Chaudhary, Shubham Ayush, Shubham Chatterjee, Siddharth Manwantia, Snuhi Roy, Spandan Dua, Suraj Krishna S, Suraj Singh Kushwa, Sunny Gupta, Swati Ravi, Tanishq Mehrotra, Tanmay Sharma, Upamanyu Chatterjee, Tanmay Sharma. Urmi Rahul Syal, Vaibhav Sanghi, Venkatesh Konur, Vedant Mata, graduating students of HRM and BM section C, please assemble in both the aisles, HRM to my right and BM to my left, and come on to the stage to receive the diploma when your name is announced. The names will be announced in the alphabetical order. Abhishek Kaushik, Astha Anupriya. Aditi Singh, Aditi Goel. Akash Patel, Aman Joshi. Aksika Rawat, Anant Rajagopal. Akshit Mahajan, Ankit Agarwal. Amber Jain, Ankita Shreya Bhattacharya. Ananya Dasagupta, Anushka Sharma. Ankita Fateh, Arvind R, Ankush Sharma, Aryaman Chand, Aparna Agnihotri, Astha Alankrita, Aritra Das, Atul Anand, Ashish Verma, Chinmay Lanka, Avani Saraswat, Debjyoti Das, Gotla Gudru Satvik, Dhruv Mohta, Deep Pandya, Divya Srivastava, Dipti Nagurkar, Gokul Ajit, Dipsit Datta, Harshvardhan, Esha Avachar, Isita Thakur, Gayatri Vadibu Asyu, Jatin Goel, Hema Madhavi Eluri, Kashish Malhotra, Himanshu Singh, Komal Sailesh Modi, Ridya Rarup Menon, Siti Saxena, Isika, Ushankar Datta, Jatin Sarma, Mahadasyam Anjana Gomini Shreya, Komal Tanwar, Mohok Khare, Sitij Yash, Muskan Gupta, Lakshmi Venkatesh, Nihar Raichada, Meghna Puri, Nikhil Nair, Mohan Krishna Yala, Nimit Agarwal, Muskan Mehra, P. Karthik, Navdeep Kukreja, Pallavi Mehrotra, Nidhi Matlani, Payal Dabir. Niskas Agarwal, Pragya Nikam, Pankhuri Srivastava, Pranav Vinayak Matre, Pragya Dhingra, Priyank Jain, Pritam Bhaumik, Rahul Mana, Rahul Sri Srimal, Rishabh, Rakhi Dubey, Rohan Michael Raffin, Rasika Watts, Sachin Menon, Ritvik Avasthi, Sairupa Katasani, Sakshi Suman, Sanil Khimani, Sakshi Suman, Sarthak Varsni, Samyak Das, Shivam Shukla, Santoshi Sai CMB, Shivangi Kejriwal, Sailesh Keskar, Shivani Rai, Sajia Rahman, Shreyas Jaisankar, Shirley Caroline Teresa D'Souza, Srishti Shreya Singh, Shivam Gupta, Sriram SB, Shubham Kumar, Sudisha Das, Siddharth Sanjay Singh, Suhas P, Srinita Bhattacharya, Suraj Raivani, Kanaya Rajendra Awadh, Tejas Bagrecha, Tripti Singh, Utkarsh Gupta, Vaibhav Gupta, Varun Mikilani, Vanya Umasankar Pandey, Vishal Kumar Singh, Vidyut Francis, Now I present the students who have qualified for the award of the 15 months postgraduate diploma in general management 2021-22 batch. Dear graduating students of the general management program, section A and B, please assemble in both the aisles, section A to my right and section B to my left, and come to the stage to receive the diploma when your name is announced. I will be announcing the names of the first 5 rank holders in the order of merit. Rank 1, Vinit Maheshwari. Rank 2, Manish Budwar. Rank 3, Nirdesh Shukla. Rank 4, Bhavya Jha. Rank 5, Ekta Sharma. Now the other names of GMP section A and B will be announced in the alphabetical order. May I request the audience not to applaud the graduates individually, but to do so after the entire graduating batch of 2022 receives the diploma. Thank you. JMP A. Ayush Vola, A. Venkatasai Sasank. Abhinav Biyani, Abhilash Tiwari. Aditya Chandrasekhar Maitre, Abhishek Kumar Pathak. Amol Dhawan, Abhinash Panda. Anand Prakash, Aishwarya Srivastava. Ankita Singh, Aman Singh Sandhu. Aman Singh Sandhu. Anuj Nivsarkar, Ankit Sharma. Apuba Mehta, Ansul Rana. Asim Dhanda, Anvesa Saman. Ayush Ashish, Apurva Tripathi, Vibhasan Satpathy, Hasika Anand, Charulata Jirai, Avinash Gupta, Diksha Balkrishna Sethi, Deepika Majumdar, Deep Sikha, Dheeraj Kumar, Divya Khailani, Gangi Reddy, Sivakrishna Reddy, Erastus Joseph Clement, Gaurang Agarwal, Gautam Ahluwalia, Gwaliori Anam Mohammad Khalik, Jagan Sukumaran, Jaita Das, John K. John, Josita Sen, Kijal Agarwal, KP Aditya Rao, Kumar Uchav, Kaushik Narayan Mani, Madhumita Sengupta, Kriti Sinha, Mohit Kumar, Mamta Kirpal, Nilesh Singh, Mahak, Niharika Jain, Monalisa Mandal, Nikhil KVS, Nikita Agarwal, Nupur Srivastava, Nisant Raj, Piyush Jayant Bhavani, Prabhakar Singh, Prasant Kumar Sinha, Pratik Mahanti, Pratyusha Roy, Priyanka Paul, Priyanka Sailesh, Pulkit Gupta, Rahul Kumar, Raisa Rai Chaudhary, Raj Charagave, Rupa Das, Sanjeev Suman, Saurabh, Sarveswar T.S., Sarmishtha Parija, Sayat Viswas, Shivam Jindal, Shikhar Anand, Sirish Gopal Upadhyay, Shibhangi Gupta, Simple Rani, Srishti Priya, Singh Praveen Kumar, Sivakami Subramanian, Surya Pathak, Subhasmita Mohanty, Suyas Divedi, Swagata Das, Swarup Sagar, Sweta Verma, Tamiri Mallikarjuna Rao, Tanya Roy, Tarun Jain, Tejeswar Tipanu, Tushar Sinha, Udit Kumar, Utkarsh Vinayak, Vasireddy Jugal Krishna, Vivek Anand, Vikram R, Vivi Jain, Vivek George Koshi, all graduating students may please rise. Besides the candidates who are present here, there are others who have been found qualified for award of the fellow or diploma as the case may be, but couldn't attend the convocation. I now request our chairman, Mr. T.V. Narendran, to confer on behalf of the Board of Governors of XLRI, the fellow in management, postgraduate diploma in human resource management, postgraduate diploma in business management, or postgraduate diploma in general management as the case may be, on these candidates who are present and on others who are absent in absentia.
By the authority vested in me as the chairman of the Board of Governors of XLRI, I award you the Fellow in Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Human Resource Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Business Management, and Postgraduate Diploma in General Management program, as the case may be, and I charge that by thought, word, and deed, you prove yourselves worthy of the award.
All graduating students, please rise. Let us applaud the graduating batch of 2023. On behalf of XLRI community, On behalf of the XLRI community, I wish all the graduating students a successful and glorious career.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the 67th annual convocation of XLRI is adjourned.
I request all of you to please remain standing till the academic procession leaves the auditorium.